All right, we're going to start over here in Daniel, the ninth chapter, which I've been over before. Can't go over too many times. It's about the building of the temple, the third temple. It's actually, matter of fact, Salakia. It's about the resurrection of the second temple and the destruction of the second temple. That's what it's talking about. To give you a time frame. Starting off, kicking it off with further ado, is Daniel 9:24. It says, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgressions and to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Now, what is the 70 weeks talking about? I'm going to read it again up top. 70 weeks. Now, 70 weeks. How many days are in a week? 7. So, 70 times 7 is what? 490. So, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people. So, that's 490 days. Now, to understand, you have to get some understanding. You can go to either Numbers 14 and 34, which that's what I'm going to go to, or you can go to Genesis 29 and verse 27. I'm going to go to Numbers 14 and 34. Numbers 14 and verse 34. And after the number of the days in which ye searched the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. So every day represented a year, and over here it's the same concept. 490 days, each day represents a year. I get another witness. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I can grab another one in Genesis 29. That's probably the better one, to be honest, or more applicable one. And they have to fulfill her week. Genesis 29. Genesis 29 and verse 27. I'm going to start with verse 26. Genesis 29 and verse 26. And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve me yet 7 other years. It says, so fulfill her week is equated to 7 years. Again, how many days are in a week? 7 days. But it's 7 years. It's the same concept. So let's not get lost. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people. Now, 70 weeks is talking about 490 years. And upon thy holy city, which would be Jerusalem, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troubled times. Read verse 25 again from the top, and we're going to break it down. It says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment. So in this, you have to go to Ezra. Ezra chapter 6, verses 1. Ezra chapter 4, verse 1. I'm going to start with Ezra chapter 6, verse 1. The going forth of the commandment to restore and build the Jerusalem. To restore and build Jerusalem. Why did Jerusalem need to be restored and rebuilt? Because what? The Babylonians had destroyed it. So there was a commandment sent forth to restore and to rebuild it. And we're heading over here to Ezra. Just bear with me for 1 second. Esther, Nehemiah, Ezra, there we go. Ezra chapter 6, verse 1 says, Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Achmetha and in the place that is in the province of the Medes a roll, and therein was a record thus written: In the first year of Cyrus the king, the same Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of God at Jerusalem. And that's what we're talking about, to restore and build Jerusalem. Let the house be builded, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations thereof be strongly laid. The height thereof 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 60 cubits. So, that was the going forth for the commandment. It was written. Now, they had to look for the records. Read it here again in verse 1, because that was when they found the record. This is when he said it. This is Ezra chapter 1 and verse 1. Now in the first year of Cyrus king of Persia, that the word of Yahweh by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, Yahweh stirred up the spirit of Cyrus king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus king of Persia, Yahweh God of heaven have given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and have charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. The commandment right there. That goes forth of the commandment. You read in Ezra chapter 4, you'll see how they tried to stop the building of the temple, and then they had to go and say, no, we were the commandment was that we could actually build. And they had to go to the records and find it and present it to continue their building. So that is the going forth of commandment. Verse 25, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. Troublous times, talking about Ezra chapter 4, verses 1 through 7, or the whole 4th chapter, but trying to do their best to come up against us. And after 62 weeks, 62 weeks, Messiah, after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. All right, that's talking about Yahushua died for our sins. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. That's talking about the Roman Jewish wars. And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. Again, that's the end shall be with a flood. That's talking about what, 70 AD. We'll go over here in Matthew 11:12 real quick. Matthew 11 and verse 12. It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violence taketh by force. So the kingdom of heaven always was being attacked by with the Roman Jewish wars, and ultimately it came down to 70 A.D. Verse 27, it says, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week." And that was the Roman agreement they made for Israel, which lasted 7 years. "And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease." Doing what? What Esau does. He'll make agreement with you, and then he'll turn around and disannul the agreement that he made. A man's word used to be something back in that day. Not to Esau, he don't care. He'll lie, to not keep his word in a minute, just to take something from you. "And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured." Matthew 24, verse 15 through 17. It says, "He shall make it desolate even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate." Mean what? The Romans breaking the covenant. So that's what that's talking about. 70 weeks. That's talking about that already fulfilled. There's not something that we're waiting for. The resurrection of the second temple and the destruction of the second temple, which is making way for what? Actually, the third temple to be be constructed. And on that note, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakudash. Double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel. Peace and salutations, and shalom.